So, all right. So a lot of things still to get to. Right now, we're going to head out to not Las Vegas, but Phoenix. As we get ready for UFC 274. Let's welcome back to the program, Tracy Cortez. Tracy, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We're all fine. We appreciate your time. Another fight week. And I always ask this, are all the fight weeks the same, or do you try to mix it up so it makes it a little bit different?
No, they're not all the same. Not at all. For the most part, I mean, every place I go to, they do tend to be a little different. This one just happens to be here at home in my backyard. So I'm at home right now. So it's a little perk of fighting, in my hometown.
Sure. Well, and I was going to ask that. I believe this is your third time fighting at home. And what is that like? Is it nice to be able to stay at home and not have to go down to the hotel until the last minute?
Oh, my God, it's wonderful. I love it. It's just the comfort of sleeping in my own bed. We're tired. It's the last week. We're about to fight. I'm home comfortable.
So do you turn the phone off so all your friends and family don't continue to call for tickets?
No, they know better.
Okay.
My friends know. They don't bother me. If anything, they tell everyone, like, leave her alone. She's focused, And then my family, or at least both of my brothers, they know. They'll call in, check in on me a little bit here and there. Hey, how are you? And we'll talk, catch up a little bit, and that's about it.
So Tracy, we know you're obviously in combat sports. I was on your Instagram and I saw you on the floor at the Suns game. Obviously, they're up 1-0 in the series against the Mavericks. And last night, there's a lot of physical play in the NBA. Are you a fan of like physical basketball? Do you like the fighting and the bloodshed with Desmond Green last night, or do you think they should just play ball and let the fighting stay in the octagon?
Personally, I don't mind it. I was at one of the games not so long ago, and they started like pushing and shoving, and the crowd was yelling like, "Boo! Get him out of the of the court." And I was like, yeah, just let him, like, it's a physical sport. Let him,
And that's what it was, and we talked about it. We talked about it a little bit earlier, Tracy. Back in the day, the old Detroit Pistons, the old Chicago Bulls, and somehow Dennis Rodman was involved with both of those. But, it was rough play. If you're going to go up for a layup, expect to get hammered. And then, you deal with it however you deal with it. That's my opinion.
Exactly, and I think it wasn't... Getting him out the court is not, I don't know, in my opinion, I don't think that it's necessary, but because it's a competitive thing,
Very much. It's a competition. That's what it's about. It's been a while since your last fight. Did it make you miss the fight game? I know you've trained and all that stuff, but it still is different than an actual, fight. Did it make you miss it even more?
Absolutely. Yeah, it did. I've been itching. My coach has seen me, and I have been training. I haven't took time off. And with this card specifically, I was pushing really hard to be on this card.
Sure.
It made sense, and I'm the only one from Phoenix on this card, so I'm extremely grateful and happy that I'm on it.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be awesome. Give me your opinion on your opponent.
She's tough. She's from Brazil. She's a jiu-jitsu background. She has a jiu-jitsu background, but nothing special.
Does the zero on her wins and losses, does that add anything to this fight, or is it's not a big deal that you're going to take it away and that's all that matters?
No, that doesn't bother me. Nor is it, everyone's like, oh my God, you could take her first loss. It's like, I don't see it that way. I just see it as, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to do my job, and my goal is to win, It don't matter if she's undefeated or not. My goal in there is to go in there and win.
And win decisively so you get that bonus, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a hard one, though. It's a great card.
No, it's a fantastic card. I like to ask this question: dinner for four. You're going to invite four people, to a restaurant, to your house, to whatever. You don't have to cook. But I'm curious, who would you invite? Four people, living or passed away, real or fictitious. Can't be family. Can't be people from the gym.
Oh, ooh, that's a good one. Four people, four random people.
Well, they don't have to be random. Just, like mine would be Rocky Balboa, John Rambo, which happens to be the same person, in Sylvester Stallone. And I'm sure I could think up of two others.
Okay, four people that I would want. I would want no family members. Oh, that's a hard one. First one would be Rihanna.
Okay.
That would be my goal. That just a must. Iconic. Let's see. Oh, that's tough. I don't know.
All right, we'll move on. We'll say Rihanna and three others, and you'll spend most of the time, talking to her. How's that?
Yes. Yeah, about girly things.
There you go. What's going through your mind as you're walking to the octagon? And is it the same or is it different depending on the opponent, the location, the crowd, the Apex or Vegas or Phoenix, or what's going through your mind as you're walking down there?
My family, I almost have like flashbacks of the entire camp, the ups, the downs, because it's not always easy, and I'm not always smiling. Camps are difficult. It's what it is, and putting in the work and the sacrifices, and the second that they play my walkout song and the lights come on, it's like, holy shit. Like, ooh, sorry about that.
She said ship.
I'm like,
just for if SCC's listening, she said ship.
Yeah, holy ship. It's like, all right, I'm meant to be here. I don't fall under pressure. If anything, I love it. I thrive off of it. So I'm really excited to feel the crowd's energy Saturday night.
What's the craziest, funniest, strangest, whatever thing that's ever happened in the middle of a fight, whether involving you, involving your opponent, whether it's something you heard or saw in the crowd or really anything? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Say that again?
Just the funniest, craziest thing that's ever happened in the middle of one of your fights.
I'm not going to name drop, but this girl kicked me, right? And it hurt. And I go, oh. And she smiled. And I smiled at her because we both knew it. And it was one of those things where it's like, what do we do? Because we were still green,
Right.
And we're just looking at each other. And she was like, do I go? And I was like, please don't go. Meaning don't come after me right now because I'm hurting.
Right.
And she was hesitating because she didn't know. She was like, do I attack? Do I not? And we're just standing there, and I'm like, mm-mm. And I pressured forward, and you just hear her I missed my opportunity.
So Tracy, this story kind of randomly, I was still on your Instagram. I was just scrolling through, and I saw a picture of you in your Jeep Wrangler. I didn't know if you still have it. And if you do, I would love to share a story about Randy and UFC 261.
When was 261?
When we went to Jacksonville.
Oh, okay.
And we went to Jeep Fest. Jeep Fest is a huge event in Daytona.
Hold on. I'm going to interrupt real quick. Let me, Tracy, ask you a question, and then I'll know how you'll respond to this boring story Matt's going to say to you. Do you wave to other Jeep people on the road?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Of course.
Okay.
So Jeep Fest, 220,000 Jeepsters go to Daytona every year. This past one was just last weekend in Daytona. And then last year, Randy and I went to UFC 261. It's the first event they allowed the fans back in attendance after COVID. And so Randy and I go, and we're in the hotel rooms early morning Saturday. And Randy wakes up. He's like, so do you want to go to this stupid Jeep thing? And he goes, or go back to sleep. And I said,
this isn't funny.
I said, Randy, you can't afford to lose any more sleeps. You're already older. You got to get up and start your day. We got to go to Jeep Fest. And we drove down to Daytona. We drove to the beach. And so my question is, Tracy, what do they do in Arizona? Do you guys have a Jeep Fest type of event? There's something in the mountains or rock crawling or in the desert where all the Jeeps come together once a year?
You know what? Back when I used to, back in the day when I had a lot more time in my hands, yes, but I haven't it's been a while. I'm normally an outdoors person. I love going camping and I love being outdoors and I love off-roading, going to the lake here in Arizona because that's all there is, right? But I just haven't lately. I'm so busy and I'm going back and forth to LA and coming back here and then training and then camp started and I almost missed all last year. I almost didn't really do any of that. So I'm excited after this fight to get back out there.
Matt, maybe you can jump in your Jeep, drive to Phoenix just so you can wave at Tracy at a red light.
Deal.
All right.
Deal. Tracy, next time I see you, I'm waving from the Jeep.
I almost take offense when people don't wave at me. I'll say hi.
Randy doesn't know. He's not in the club. He doesn't get it.
You know the little finger Jeep wave, and they don't. And I'm like, oh, excuse me. I just stare at them as they drive by.
That's awesome.
It is a thing, though.
That's funny. Tracy, what can the fans expect to see when you get back in the octagon Saturday in Phoenix?
It's just same hungry Tracy. Nothing has changed. It's gonna be a good night of fights, and I hope I get a great performance. Even though the cards are stacked. So.
Will you stay, or are you close enough that you can get home by the time the next fight starts?
I'm 15 minutes away from the arena.
Oh, okay. All right. So you'd miss 2 fights.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So I can be home and then drive back here, turn on my TV, and still catch the fight.
That is awesome. Tracy, thank you very much for your time. I know that we have your address. We're going to mail you another package from 8 Man Strong, as well as a box from Odd Sock Official. They're really some cool socks. I wear them all the time. You will be getting those in a week or so. Again, thank you very much, and have fun on Saturday.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Take care. Tracy Cortez back in the octagon. She was on, after her last fight.
The Jeep
thing, and the Randy Rubb thing worked.
The Jeep thing, you wouldn't understand, buddy.
I wouldn't.
Until you get a Jeep, you're not really part of the cool club.
Well, you know me. I would get a Jeep and be one of those people that would look the other way.
you take offense to someone waving at you?
Yeah, don't wave at me.
Fights at stoplights. Why'd you wave at me?
A guy waved at me when he cut me off.